Why is your little small baby, sleeping on a mattress pad in your kitchen? How does that make sense? Why are you in the master bedroom and you have 4 kids sleeping in your living room and kitchen? And you're clearing out a table to make room for one more that's on the way. You're a family of 7 living in a 1-bedroom apartment. What is going on? When do we draw the line?
Happy Sunday, guys. So there is a new situation that has the internet in flames. It's about how this family of 6, going on 7 because the mother is pregnant, is living in this 1-bedroom apartment. And her entire page is pretty much her adjusting their room in order to make more space for the new baby that's about to come. Now, I feel like we're all being gaslit here because the main issue to me is not that these children are being raised in a 1-bedroom apartment. It's that the parents are prioritizing their own wants and needs over the well-being of their children. So I'm going to play you this video right quick, and then I'm going to come on the back end to give you my thoughts and talk a little bit more about people's reactions.
As you can read in the caption above, we're a family of 6 going on 7 living in a 1-bedroom apartment. As the kids grow older, that means we constantly have to adapt our environment to give them more means for privacy and extra space. When outside our environment appears cluttered, disorganized, what have you. But quite frankly, after making do for nearly 3 years now, I have nothing but a grateful spirit for the roof over our head. And only the instant judgment me and my husband receive, why have so many kids if you don't have enough space for them? See, my perception is judgment comes from a place of not having the experience. When you've experienced enough, you generally don't judge people. I can tell you after everything I've been through in the past 3 years, there's very little I have to judge people on. I would be lying if I said there wasn't a point in my life that I was so naive that I might have judged a poor person based off their appearance. And like I said, I have learned a lot. I generally look like I'm roughing it, but that's because our kids come first. I do everything I can to keep our environment clean and tidy. When it comes down to it, I could shove everything my kids have in 1 bedroom of some of these houses I see, and it would really look like nothing. We try to teach our kids to take care of what they have, be grateful for what we have, we keep praying and pushing for the growth that we want. Appreciate y'all watching. See you in the next video.
Okay, so just some facts. There are 4 children total that live in this 1-bedroom apartment, about to be 5 since the lady is pregnant. It also looks like they're a blended family, so all the children aren't theirs together genetically, except for the youngest 2, including the one that's still in her womb. They do have 2 animals, 2 cats, and the husband does have a PS5. They also live in Portland, Oregon, which is very expensive, and the state of Oregon does have a max of 3 people in a 1-bedroom apartment, for those wondering if this is legal. When I looked at their family blog page, this lady has been posting about the situation for over 2 years, and they have lived in this same apartment for 3 years. This means that they only started out with 3 children sleeping in the living room, and instead of trying to better their situation, they've just added 2 more beds that are just mattress sponge toppers, including one in the kitchen that is now for the new baby on the way. Okay, so I screenshotted here the layout of the living room that everyone's talking about because this couple has the 1 bedroom with plenty of privacy all to themselves. Their private room has a full bed frame, a full mattress, a PS5, and a large screen television. And while yes, it's important that parents have their privacy, it's not as important when the safety of their children is in question. And even though technically it's the bigger room, putting all the kids in the living room where there's a direct exit and entry from the apartment is dangerous. The youngest baby's bed is right next to the door. And the living room has the front door, the stove, kitchen utensils, and a bunch of other things that the kids could get into while the parents are relaxing in the other room. It's also common knowledge that parents give the kids the furthest room from the door. Even in hotel rooms, they give the kids the bed farthest from the door because kids' safety should come first. One person who grew up in apartments similar to this mentioned how anyone who walks in has immediate access to the kids, and how when they were younger, someone accidentally walked into their family apartment. A lot of people who have and currently live in similar situations to this commented how the kids should 100% have the room space and be set up with bunk beds, where each child can have their own individual space. The living room could either be sectioned off for the parents, or they could turn the couch into a pull-out bed so that they could also maximize the living room space. And then they wouldn't have to remove the dining room in order to fit everybody. It doesn't seem fair that the parents have a full mattress with a headboard while the kids are sleeping on not even mattresses but foam toppers in the living room. It seems extremely unfair that the parents get a retreat from the chaos that they created. And maybe if they were living uncomfortably in the living room, perhaps they would make different decisions, but they're perfectly comfortable in the environment that they've made for themselves. Now, a lot of people have actually been very supportive of this lady in the comments, lauding her for doing her best for her family, talking about how happy her kids look and patting her on the back for, doing her best. And even the people who are making genuine points of concern about what's happening with this family are pretty much being attacked by the people who are defending her. And I do want to say that even though this woman is posting from her perspective and being kind of the representative for her family, like she does have a partner. And collectively, they've decided to live this way and to make decisions for their family. And I don't believe that this woman should be getting all of the heat alone. Her partner is an Uber driver as well as a DoorDash delivery driver, and he brings in the main income for their biracial family. Now, we all know that if this lady were any other color, this would be a completely different situation. The comments would have been a little different, and the internet overall would have been a little bit less supportive. And CBS would have been involved immediately, most likely. Let's be real. This couple knew what they were doing when they started posting stuff like this on the internet and what reaction it would elicit. Which brings me to another point that I would like to make, just so that you are all more aware of it, media literacy wise. But there is a phenomenon that happens on social media platforms, specifically TikTok, towards the end of the month, where you get more rage bait and controversial opinions from content creators or influencers overall. And this is because the pay cycle ends on the 30th or the 31st of each month. So in order to hit those numbers and to make rent for the month, they have to go viral. And if you pay attention, you'll notice that a lot of times when people start crashing out online, it's toward the end of the month. So for me, this kind of falls under that category a little bit, even though this woman has been posting about this for a while now. So obviously, why have 5 children if you're only living in a 1-bedroom apartment while you and your partner don't have full-time employment? Like, how does that make sense to bring another child into that? Well, a lot of people live this way, and the topic of impoverished families is a very sensitive one. We don't have enough conversations about systematic neglect and how it's the primary reason that stuff like this happens. But also, people love being dense and bringing up accusations about eugenics every time we try to have an honest conversation. But simply, it really does come down to these parents actively choosing to put their children through a traumatic situation while blasting it on the internet. They didn't even factor what it's going to be like for their kids when they grow up and their peers see this. That tells me a lot right there about how these parents prioritize their children's safety. They're also fully putting their children's faces on the internet, which is dangerous in and of itself. And the kids are younger now, so the situation seems manageable at this point. But when they get older, it's going to be a completely different story. Teenagers need some sense of privacy, and if they don't get it, it can come out in all sorts of social and behavioral issues. Now, with that being said, I'd like to move on to some of the other criticisms, as well as some of the more thought-provoking takes that I saw.
Bitch, I'm so fucking twisted and just so, oh my God, appalled.
The family with 7 kids in 1 bedroom is a direct response to when the parents love each other more than they love their children and they love their circumstances. There's this one quote, I don't know exactly what it says, but it says, I didn't know it was abuse until someone told me. Because you can train children to believe that, okay, this is a family dynamic, these are family values. Your comfortability, your autonomy, your self-worth is up for grabs when you're in a family dynamic. As long as we have each other, we don't need space. So the children don't look at this as this is kind of not right. They see that there's 2 parents in a loving home and they keep reproducing, but they don't understand that reproduction is a form of abuse. When no one else have the right within the household to go and self-regulate and just be with themselves is a form of abuse. And when I first seen the video, I'm thinking, sometimes like circumstances cause for, family have to be together. Would you want the children in a group home? Would you want them with other family members? Would you want them not with their family dynamic? And then I went on the page and I realized that this is just 2 parents who are so wrapped up in their love within themselves that they forget that they're creating a family. It's not a family dynamic, but it's more so ownership. That look what we, out of our love and out of our lust, look what we can produce, even at the expense of their own upbringing, of their own pubescent puberty. Our children are suffering because we don't understand that love is also loving someone enough to stop. Loving someone enough to give them their own, because you're used to sharing. Sometimes sharing can be a form of ownership as well. You have to keep sharing everything. You have to share your time with your parents. You have to share your space. You have to share this, share that. It's like, at one point, it's like, can I be selfish? And in this instance, they're teaching their children that selfishness is a bad thing, even though they're within a selfish circumstance themselves.
But don't worry, guys. The family's already making an Amazon wish list and they have a baby registry up, so they're going to be all right. When you bring children into this world, they deserve a healthy environment, space to enjoy being children, because children need to play. And making the active decision to bring them into an environment like this is fundamentally bad parenting. There are plenty of families who also make do with having large families in tinier spaces. And the difference is clear in how they do prioritize their children within that small space. And I'm going to play you a video that is a perfect example of what this looks like.
I have 5 kids and I live in a 1-bedroom apartment, and here's how I do it. They are ages 3, 4, 6, 11, and 17. My 17-year-old is only here on the weekends, so that does make things just a little bit easier. But this is my front entrance with all of my baby's drawings and artwork. Over here is where we sleep. This is also my living room. Yes, me and my 3 youngest do sleep there. And over here is where I try to be organized and have all of the kids' stuff and toys organized here in these bins. Of course, we have a patio. The kids have a little bit too much fun with the chalk, but that's okay. But nothing too special going on out here, just a patio. I do try to keep it empty for them, so when they come out there and play, they have some space. It is an apartment, so it's not too much. Here's just an extra closet where I keep the majority of my stuff. I found these shoe racks to be super helpful because I can hang it up and kind of have their shoes out of the way. My things, my belongings, nothing too special going on in there. And then here is my kitchen. I do love the color pink. I wish to have an all pink kitchen one day, but hey, I have what I have for right now and it works. Yes, it is clean, but this is my kitchen. You've seen one, you've seen them all. Here is my dining area. And I do have this party table, which I love because I can fold it up and put it away when the kids need extra space to play. It does get pretty hectic in here, so I do like the fact that I can fold that up and they have all of this extra space here where they can run around and just be kids. Here, I was blessed enough to get a unit with a washer and dryer because 5 kids without that would have been a mess. This is the 1-bedroom that I did decide to give to my 11-year-old, as I did feel like she needed the privacy more than I. Yes, we have a little puppy. That is Miley. This is her bed, which I love because it is a trundle bed. So when my 17-year-old comes over on the weekends, he could just pull that out and really sleep wherever he wants to in the house. And then we do have a big, nice closet over here where I keep all of our belongings at. It's pretty spacious, and let's show you guys that another day. But then over here is another closet where I just keep extra household necessities. I got another one of those shoe racks where I hang up all of my shoes and slippers and what have you. And here is our bathroom. It is pretty small in here, but it's okay because it works for us. You guys, don't let anybody criticize you and judge you for how you live when you are doing the absolute most best that you can. My kids are very happy. They're healthy. They're very well taken care of. And while we might not have it all and have much, they are very happy.
Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more. And don't forget to click the little bell so that you can be notified whenever I post a new video. Have a great day!